On this episode, we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of Aldez organic tequila right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello, welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of another tequila from 1480, NOM 1480. It is Aldez Tequila Organico. And today they've sent us not only the Blanco for us to take a look at, but they also sent us the Reposado. And they sent us the Anejo, all for a unbiased review, which is exactly what I'll give them and let you guys know about it, whether it's something I would recommend, something I'm going to keep on the shelf or not. And we'll go from there, right? Hope you guys are had a great week. And hey, Andy, glad you could make it today. It's Deputy Sandoval to those of you that don't know. So let's talk a little bit about the brand. You know, I always like to give you guys a backstory, and I messaged the owner and asked for some backstory information, and they sent me some stuff. So what they basically did is it's owned by a couple named Manuel and Jennifer. Their last name is Aldez. I think it's the way it's pronounced. It's Aualdez. So it's like Aldez, but it's got Acu in front of it. So it's Aqualdez. So what happened is they were originally looking to put together a brand where they wanted, you know, something that tasted good without the help of additives, right? Without the help of being adulterated. They were looking for something that would accent the agave, because, you know, the agave is grown in the ground and takes, you know, 8 years, five to 8 years for it to mature to the point where they'll use it for tequila. And so they wanted to honor that, and they wanted to make sure that was enriched and presented in their tequila. So it took them 3 years development to come up with the brand before they finally were able to come out with this. And this brand launched officially in 2018, but it's just recently been hitting the United States now. So one thing really cool about it is if you look at the labels, they really do honor the tradition of tequila, where they have the agave fields, and it, you know, really tells like the story of tequila in Mexico, which is kind of cool. These are all now, they're very big too. 1480 has always been really big in using, well, they're organic, right? And then using recycled materials and stuff. So all the labels are from recycled materials and are biodegradable. The bottles were from former Coca-Cola bottles, and one of the owner, Manuel, the owner, I guess he's even working on making some cups and stuff out of the recycled bottles that they have of these. So, and then they use corks, recycled corks and cork tops. So all this stuff is like, you know, earth friendly, and which is typically what you see when you are dealing with a tequila out of 1480. So, and again, this is a certified organic. They have the USDA certification there at the distillery. And when they grow their agave, they have them, the fields are certified as well. And all their agave, you know, that come out of the distillery are all state grown agave. So they're all organic. So all the brands that come out of there are organic, because it's just, they paid for the certification. So some of the other brands that come out of 1480, I'm sure you guys are familiar with, 123 Organic Tequila, Don Abraham, just to name a couple. There's quite a few that come out of there that are organic as well, and good quality tequila. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what this tequila is all about, and seeing if it lines up with as good as what 123 Organic and Don Abraham are like. So let's not waste any more time. Let's now take a look at how this tequila is made, right? So like I said, it comes out of 1480, which is Tequila Las Americas. It is located in Amatitan, Jalisco. They use, of course, Weber Blue agave that are organic from the lowlands, from the Valle of Jalisco. Once they harvest the ripe agave, they're then cooked using hornos or stone brick ovens. After they're done cooking, they use a roller mill to extract the sugars from the agave fibers. And then it is fermented in stainless steel tanks. After fermentation is done, it is then distilled twice using stainless steel stills with copper coils. And then it is then bottled at 40% alcohol by volume. And those that are aged, for the Reposado and Anejo are then placed in white oak bourbon barrels for aging. The fermented still price for the Blanco is $49.99. And that is it. So as far as, what it looks like, procedure-wise, process-wise, it looks spot on. Could just about any, really good tequila is made using the same exact processes. So I don't see any problems with that at all. So let's move on to the tasting portion and see what the Blanco is all about first. So of course it is a natural cork on the top. So they don't use the artificial corks, which is, good. It also could be, hopefully it doesn't dry out over time. Hopefully you finish your tequila before it has a chance to dry out. That's the only thing with natural corks is they will dry out, and when they dry out, they shrink, and you'll see evaporation out of the bottle. So I typically like to see the artificial corks there, because then I know I could keep it on the shelf for a while and not have to worry about the corks drying out. On some of the older bottles, if you do find older bottles that when you're hunting and stuff, and you want to make sure that that they're not, the corks aren't shrunk and dried out. First of all, look at the fill level of the bottles. If the fill level's down, there's been some evaporation. And secondly, before you open it, lay the bottle down on its side, let that cork get wet, and let it kind of rehydrate a little bit, and then try to remove it, because otherwise you'll end up breaking the cork off in the bottle, and then you'll have to decant it and get all the cork and stuff out. It happens all the time with the old Cabo Wabo bottles. So if you have an old Cabo Wabo bottle, make sure you do that to prevent that from happening. All right, so now I went off on my tangent about natural corks, which there's nothing wrong. Natural corks were all they used before. Let's take a look at the tequila. It coats the glass very nicely. There it goes. You see it break in right there. See pearls on the glass, so it looks good. Looking at the tequila inside, it is crystal clear. You see little glimmers of silver coming through. Looks beautiful for a Blanco. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. So let's see what we get on the nose. Oh, I love the smell of beautiful cooked agave, and it's that just rich cinnamon and baking spices just right in your. I love that, and this has it in spades. Oh yeah, so I'm getting that sweet cinnamon with like cloves and nutmeg coming through on the nose. Getting a hint of citrus in there as well, like orange peel in there. Hints of vanilla coming through as well. Has that vanilla-esque kind of overtone that comes on the top of it. Overnote. And it just smells absolutely delicious. It smells naturally sweet and delicious, and I am looking forward to taking my sip. So here we go. So first time, like I always say, we'll take the first sip. We'll get our lips and gums used to the 40% alcohol first. We won't do any judging on the first sip. We'll swish it all around the mouth, because it shocks your lips and gums. They're like, whoa, what's going on? Whoa. But then they get acclimated to that. They settle down, and then you can go on to your tasting part, which you can still taste some stuff on the, I still taste it. So here we go. Beautiful Blanco. Coats the mouth nicely. I get that rich, sweet cinnamon with baking spices in there like nutmeg and cloves. A little bit of bitterness to balance things out a little bit. Kind of anise bitterness in there. Getting hints of vanilla and actually a little bit of chocolate on the finish as well. I love it when you get the vanilla and chocolate that come through on a Blanco, where you know that it's not additives. You know, don't ask me if it's additives. It's not additives. It's just some of the flavor notes that come through from the combined flavors from a really nicely made natural Blanco. So yeah, rich, sweet cinnamon and baking spices. A little bit of anise, like black licorice, coming through on the right on over the top of it to balance things out a little bit. Vanilla, chocolate. I am picking up some orange peel. So it's, you know, if you've ever had orange peel, it's got that kind of bitterness to the peel, you know, that the pith that you get in it as well. I'm picking up a little bit of that as well, with a little of the citrus blended in there. You could probably push it a little on the tart side too. So maybe even like a lemon pith, lemon peel, lemon, what is it called when they grate a little bit of the lemon peel into something? It's, I forgot the term for it, but it's picking up a little bit of that. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful Blanco. Really nice. Would I keep this on my shelf? Absolutely. How would I rate this? I'd give it a recommended. So I'd give it a 4 agave. It's good. There's nothing wrong with this Blanco at all. Very enjoyable. I could definitely sit and enjoy this with a cigar. It's got just a really strong cooked agave flavor, that cinnamon and baking spices and stuff that comes right in your face when you taste it. There's no joking around with this. So it could definitely hold up to a nice medium-bodied cigar. So I could definitely enjoy this. So for agave, yeah, I definitely recommend it. And for $49.99, it's definitely well worth the price. Now, one thing I'd like to know is, what do you guys feel about how, if I was to pull out my bottle of Don Abraham and we were to do a side-by-side on the Blancos, what do you guys think? If you guys want me to do that, comment yes and let me know. And I'll pull the Don Abraham out and we'll go side-by-side on them to see if there's a difference between the two. If you've ever tried, I have reviewed Don Abraham before, and if you can find my review for it on the link on the channel. But let me know, and I can do a side-by-side on it, and we can, we'll do it after we do the Reposado and the Anejo. But if you guys are interested in seeing a side-by-side on the Don Abraham that comes out of the same distillery and this Blanco, comment yes, do it, and then if we get enough people, I'll go ahead and move forward with it. If not, we'll just stick with the Repo and the Blanco. All right, so that's good. It's a really good Blanco. I enjoy that Blanco. That's very good. I'm gonna drink the out of this puppy. Let me tell you, that's good. All right, so the Reposado is aged 8 months in white oak American bourbon barrels, previously used for bourbon whiskey. So let's see what the difference is on how much the 8 months in the barrel really makes a difference on the Reposado. I love a good Repo, but I still want that cooked agave beautifulness to be up in the front still. So let's see if we get that. All right, so if we look at this one in the glass, do our swirlies. Look at it in the glass. it coats the glass beautifully. Look at that. You can see the legs and tears forming on it. Ooh, just makes you start salivating. This is what I talk about when I talk about tasting with the eyes and nose and everything, right? So looking at the color of this, it is a light amber color. Looks beautiful. Crystal clear. Looks great. All right, so on the nose, all right, so the cooked agave is a little more subtle. It's not as in your face as it is on the Blanco, which I love. I love it in your face on the Blanco. It's not as in your face. It's a little more subtle. It brings a little bit more of a cherry-esque kind of fruit flavor to it, which I'm picking up. Let me see if we can get this to focus. Focus camera. There we go. All right. And it definitely has really nice vanilla and cream soda and like caramel mixed with some like light milk chocolate on the nose on this. It smells really good. It smells beautiful. And I love I'm a chocolate fanatic. So I love when there's good chocolate in there that's not artificial medicinal chocolate, where it's natural from the barrel. And this has got it in spades on the nose. It smells really good. So I bet you the Anejo is going to be crazy good. We'll see. All right, so this is good. The nose is spot on. So let's see what we get on the. All right, so it's got light agave up front. Definitely the agave is still there. The cinnamon and baking spices, the sweet cinnamon and baking spices. And then it just moves right into a kind of a light vanilla flavor. So you get that cinnamon and baking spices up front. Then you get vanilla, and then it moves into a really nice caramel, caramel flavor with hints of like cocoa nibs, like dark chocolate. And if you ever had cocoa nibs, they're like little tiny pieces of cocoa, of cocoa. So it's dark chocolate, but it's like little cocoa nibs and mixed in between with this caramel. Hints of the dark chocolate, the bitterness, the bittersweet chocolate in there. But it's really good. It's good. It's good. Would it hold up to a nice cigar? Absolutely. I would do definitely. I'll have to do a pairing video with this, with the cigar. It's a beautiful Reposado. How would I rate this? I'd give this one 4 agave too. I recommend it. Would I keep it on my shelf? Absolutely, I would. Price that we're selling it for in ferment and still $56.99, which is very reasonable. It's a good price for a good repo, and this one's good. It's very tasty. I think anybody that tries it that knows when I recommend something is gonna come back and say, you were right, it's good. It's good. This is really good. It's really tasty. So the Blanco's good and the Repo's good. So let's take a look at the Anejo now. So the Anejo, while the Reposado is aged for 8 months in American white oak whiskey barrels, the Anejo is aged for 18 months. So let's see the difference here between the two of them. All right. I know Jennifer's watching. She asked me when I was going to do the review, and I told her today. So hopefully she's on here watching now. So far, Jennifer, it's been really good. So I'm impressed. I like it. All right, so looking at it in the glass, it is coating the glass very nicely. You can see the legs and tears just starting to break on it on my Denver and Liley agave glass. I love this glass too. It's so good for evaluating spirits. Looking at the color, it is a dark amber beautiful, crystal clear, little glimmers of sunshine coming through from my lights. But it looks great. All right, so on the nose. Interesting. Wow. All right, so I get a little bit of cinnamon, but and baking spices, but up front it's more of a deep cherry, like a not like a sweet maraschino cherry or like a fake artificial cherry, but more like a Bing cherry, or it's got a little bit of that tartness in there, but it says cherry to you. Um, Definitely picking that up, and then it goes straight to like chocolate, and with hints of dark chocolate, the bittersweet chocolate mixed in with a light vanilla uh, cream soda-esque kind of tone on the top of it. Oh, it smells really good, but it's definitely rich in that more chocolate and like dark chocolate and caramel on the nose. It smells beautiful. If this tastes as good as it smells, it's gonna be amazing. All right, so I get the cinnamon up front on the baking spices, and then I'm gonna have to pour a little more in here. This is gonna be crazy. All right, I don't know if you guys have ever seen me do that before, but we're gonna take a deep look at this puppy because it's just. It gets beautiful cooked agave up front, but then it goes into this Bing cherry ash kind of beginning, where it's not super sweet cherry, but it's kind of like a tart sweet cherry, right into rich caramel, maybe a little hint of butterscotch in there as well. And then it goes into this nice, like if you've ever had a craft caramel where you put it on your tongue and you let it sit there for a while, and then to the point where it's dissolved, and so then you've got this coating of like caramel on your tongue that just kind of feels like giving you like a rich creamy caramel flavor to it. And then picture that with a little bit of cocoa nibs dipped on top of it, so some bittersweet chocolate on top, and it is a beautiful añejo. I get this one for agave too. I recommend it. Our price for it on fermented still is $64.99, which is a great. This I mean really could be a $79.99 añejo. It is very good. It would hold up beautiful to a medium to full bodied cigar. I'll definitely do a pairing with this one because I know I'm going to enjoy this one sitting out at the fire pit. So I'll do some cigar and tequila with the Hombre with the whole line. We'll do it with the Blanco, the Repo, and the Anejo. We'll pick different cigars and see how they match up. So there you go. Aldez organic tequila. Very good. I like it. I like it a lot. I definitely recommend it for agave across the board. Now, I'd asked about doing a side-by-side on the Don Abraham. We had a couple people say yes, but we'll see if anybody else wants to see that, to see how they compare. Or maybe we can even do it with the 1-2-3 tequila if you guys want to see that too. But we can compare them and see which one comes out ahead. Let's see what some of our members say. So Andy, hello, how you doing, bud? I already said hello to you earlier. Hey, David B, good, welcome. Shaman says, Gnome 1480 sells some good brands. Can't wait for the review. Yes, they do sell some great brands. I don't think I've ever had a bad brand out of them. Todd Gilbert says hello. I said hello back. Hola, which is hola, an hola emoji of the Tequila Hombre. Alejandro says hello, and I say hola back to Alejandro. I'm glad you can make it. Hey, Efitz, hola. ¿Cómo está, amigo? Glad you can make it. Happy Friday. And Deputy Sandoval says, yes, he wants to see the side-by-side. So Shaman says, to gain organic certification for a nom, is there a checklist of criteria you must meet and then pay a fee? Does the certification have to be renewed annually? Yes. They do renew it annually, and you do have to pay a fee for it. So it does add expense to the cost of creating the tequila. And they actually will come out and they don't schedule a inspection. They just show up. They just show up for it because they don't want you preparing for it. And then they check and make sure, you're not using any fertilizers or pesticides on the agave. And then they check your processes to make sure you're not putting anything in the tequila that would mess up with their organic certification. So they look at all your processes. They look at how you do things, how you clean things, everything. So it's a labor of love to go organic and to go kosher as well. So, and they have both kosher and organic certifications at the distillery, but they don't use the kosher one for this one. I think they just use the BioCert and the USDA organic are the ones that are listed on this one. But 123 is organic and kosher. So, but they do have to go through the certification process. It is extra stuff. Hey, Abel, salute, amigo. Okay, you want to do this side by Shaman says he wants to do the side by side. Bonnie made it. Hi, Bonnie, welcome. Glad you can make it. Yes, the whole line's 40% alcohol by volume. Yes. Would I consider organic tequila don't have additives? Well, this one doesn't have additives, but just because it's organic doesn't mean they don't put additives in it, because organic really goes by how the agave is grown. So you can have the agave grown organically and then you can put additives in it in the process. So just because it says organic doesn't mean it doesn't have additives, because they don't look at the processes and say you can't put additives in it. It just basically focuses on how the agave are grown, on whether it's organic or not. Hope that makes sense. All right, so let's do this, right? I think enough people said yes on the Don Abraham, so let's take a look at it. Out of the closet of mystery, we pull the Don Abraham organic tequila out of the same NOM, right? So let's do a side by side. So let me pour this. All right, let me. All right, so we want to do a side by side. We got to make sure we rinse out the glass, dry it a little bit. All right, let's take a look at these puppies side by side. All right, so here's the Aldez tequila glass. Put a little bit more in it. All right, so a couple more questions. How was the finish? Yeah, it was a nice finish on it. It's like if you were to put a craft caramel. You know those craft caramel squares they used to have? I don't know if you guys still see those occasionally. They sell them. They used to sell them in the grocery stores. They're the caramel squares that you used to unwrap. You know, Kraft used to make them. If you put one of those on your tongue and just kind of let them sit there for a little while, and then after it's done, it kind of coats your tongue, and you get that last a little bit. It's a nice long finish on it. It wasn't super long, but it was more than I think a medium finish for me. So it was good. Don Abraham has some flavors of banana to me. Oh, okay. We'll see if the banana comes through. More tequila hombre is always a good thing. Side by side, yes. Okay. Well, I don't know if a lot of people agree with you or not, but I know my wife probably wouldn't. Okay. All right. So Don Abraham and Aldez. Let's see, side by side. So here's Aldez and here's Don Abraham, okay? So looking at them side by side, both from the same distillery. Yeah, they look about the same, right? They look good. Both look good. All right, so all right. So this is the Aldez. This is the Don Abraham. All right, on the nose, the Aldez has the richer cooked agave. So Aldez wins the nose. Yeah, a lot more of the cinnamon and baking spices and vanilla coming through on the nose on this. Hints of chocolate as well on the nose on the Aldez. This is more muted on that. So, but they're both good. They're both really good. But Aldez, I give the winner on the nose. All right, so let's see what we get on the flavor. Yeah, cinnamon, baking spices, vanilla, citrus. I don't get any banana. Sorry, Andy, but you know, it could be different batches and stuff too. Each batch is different. So just because you get banana and I don't doesn't mean you're wrong and I'm right, or I'm right, I'm wrong and you're right. That doesn't matter. You detect what you detect. So it could be the bottle you have could have banana to it. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But that's really the Aldez is beautiful there. So let's see what we get on the Don Abraham. Definitely picking up the cinnamon and baking spices on the Don Abraham. It definitely has more of a tropical fruit flavor to it. So yeah, Andy, I can see what you're talking about with the banana, but I'm getting more of a yeah, a little bit of banana in that. But I'm also getting a little bit of like a tart, sweet pineapple from it as well. So on the flavor wise, I would have to give my preference to Aldez. Aldez. Yes, I'll actually would pick Aldez over Don Abraham. There you go, side by side. I like Aldez better. I don't know what they did differently with Aldez that they did with Don Abraham, but the Aldez is beautiful. It's a beautiful tequila. It's beautiful, but both of them are for agave. So Don Abraham's very good. Don't get me wrong; it's very good. I enjoy both of them. And I've got the Reposado and the extra añejo from Don Abraham to review still. So I'll do a review of that here coming up in the next few weeks or so. So there you go, Aldez, organic tequila, you guys. Any other questions? Anything else you want to know about it? Let's see what it say. More tequila hombre is always a good thing. Okay, we already hit that. Onto the reposado. Yeah. No, I think I'm good with doing this. I haven't reviewed the repo yet for Don Abraham or the extra Anejo. I've got those, so I'll do a review of those. So you guys can hear what the repo and extra Anejo for Don Abraham are like. But you guys have also known that you've seen the review that we did for 123 out of the same distillery. It's a completely different flavor profile than 123. I do love the 123 line as well. So I don't think there's anything out of 1480 that I've even Casa Agave is really good. Will sent me the Blanco. I know that their Anejo came out. I'm working on him, trying to get him to send me a bottle of the Anejo so I can let you guys know about that. But that's really good, dude. That comes out of the same distillery. And it was really funny because when I was at the LA Tequila Festival, I actually ran into the master distiller out of 1480. And he's a big fan of mine and wanted a picture with me. So we ended up talking and we had a good time. And I guess we're going to try to get more of the stuff out of 1480 reviewed here on the Tequila Hombre. So, you want to see a 1-2-3 side by side? Really? You guys want to see a 1-2-3? Want to see how the 1-2-3 Blanco compares? Yes. Okay. All right. Well, let's. Okay, hold on a second. Let's do it. All right, you guys. Let me get my ears back in. All right, everyone says yes. Yes to the 1-2-3. Okay, here we go. So, let me clean this. Wipe this glass down. Get all the dust off of it. Here we go. Uno from 1-2-3, right? Oh crap! See, what did I tell you about the corks drying out? Yeah, we have a little bit of a dilemma here. So I'm gonna. That's why it's important that when you have corks, natural corks, that you. Crap. I'm just gonna have to push it in and then get it out when I'm done here. I warned you guys about that just before. All right, so now I'm pissed. All right, so here's the Aldez, and here's the 1-2-3. Okay, so let's see what we get. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome, Shaman. Thanks for the super chat, dude. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. You're welcome. Yeah, I do have it on the display shelves. Although I finished all the stuff that I had, so I had to dig a bottle out. And this one, I'm kind of still. I hate it when I have to filter the corks out and find a bottle to put it in now. But this is the Aldez here. This is the 1-2-3. So let's see what we get on the nose here. Differences. They're both so rich, and that cooked agave on the nose, and the cinnamon and baking spices. Although my one, two, three's got a little bit of cork. See it right there, cork in the inside of it. That's what I was talking about. You gotta have to filter all this cork out now. But on the nose, identical. They're actually, the 1, 2, 3 is more. I get the agave, the cinnamon and baking spices, but it comes more on the citrus. Yeah, there's more of orange and lemon coming through, more citrus coming through, more complexity coming through on the 1, 2, 3. But the Aldez is more just regular cinnamon and baking spices, where the 1, 2, 3's got the citrus and stuff that's blended in with it. More complexity. So let's see what we get on the. Mm. 1, 2, 3 is so good. The whole line's good. Definitely get the beautiful cinnamon and baking spices, and then it definitely has citrus in there. It's like a Mexican flan type of cinnamon that comes through on it. It's beautiful. The Blanco is beautiful from 1, 2, 3. Definitely has the cinnamon and baking spices as well. Very nice. Has the vanilla and the bittersweet chocolate that comes through on the taste of it. Ooh, God! If I had to pick, they're both fantastic. They're both really nice Blancos. But if I had to choose one, if I said pick one, I probably would lean just a little bit towards the 1, 2, 3. And it's only because it has a little bit more complexity to it than the Aldez does. The Aldez has a chocolate and vanilla that come through on it, as well as the cinnamon and baking spices, where the 1, 2, 3 has got the chocolate, the vanilla, the cinnamon baking spices, and it has this neat citrus fruitiness that comes through on it as well. All right, so that if I had to choose between the two, complexity wise, I'd go with the 1, 2, 3. Hey, it's not your fault. It's okay. It happens. I'll have to decant it and find a new cork for the top on that. It happens. This stuff happens. It's okay. That's why I warned you about the natural corks. Just make sure when you're dealing with a natural cork. I didn't pay attention. I should have worked it out a little bit better. But you saw how I got stuck, and so now I have a cork floating around in my one. Right there, see it? Yeah. So now, but thankfully, there's not a whole bunch of little pieces to it. It's just one big chunk of cork. So I'll be able to get it out pretty easily. So there you go. Double Slick, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Doubly Slick, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate the support. Yes, the Diablito is great. The Diablito Extra Anejo is fantastic. I love it too. And I love it. I've already done the cigar and tequila with the Hombre with that one. They produce really good tequila out of 1480. So far I don't think I've had anything out of there that I haven't really liked. How do I filter it? Easy. I just run it through a coffee filter. You just get a coffee filter out and you put it in a bottle, and then you pour it through it so it stops all the cork. But we'll let the tequila go through. So I'll probably just use a coffee filter for it and get all the cork out of it. I love the 1, 2, 3 line. I'm not I'm now very excited to try the Aldez. It's Aldez lineup. Yeah, Aldez. Yeah, it's very good. You should try it. I think Shaman, I think you'll like it. Knowing your taste and stuff, I think you'll love it. You'll think it's really good. It is really good. I'm impressed. I actually think I prefer it more than the Don Abraham, as far as what comes out of 123, or I'm sorry, what comes out of 1480. It didn't, for me, it didn't unsuit or undethrone 123 for me as being one of the top tequilas out of 1480. I think the 123 line is just amazing, and I like that he plays with different barrels and stuff. It's not all the same, but I like him. I like the Aldez for different reasons. So I would keep both of them on my shelf because they're both really good. I don't like it when you guys say, well, if you had to choose one or the other, there's no reason why you can't pick them both and enjoy them both. And I would definitely have both of these on the shelf because they both taste different. They're not the same. So the whole concept too, the whole idea of too, that the distillers are just cranking out the same juice with different labels, different names on them. That's not true. They did something different with the processes, maybe how they fermented it, maybe how they did the cuts on the still or whatever. These are very different between the two of them. And I'd recommend, if you like the 123, you're going to love Aldez Organic Tequila. And we have it on fermented still. And so you guys can pick it up and try it. And we ship all across the country, so it's not a big deal. There you go. Autocorrect. Yes, autocorrect. All right, so there you go. We said you love the 123. I'm very excited about all that. I think you will be. I think you'll enjoy it. I seriously do. I do think you enjoy it. All right, so there you guys go. There's the review for Aldez Tequila Organico, or Organic Tequila, out of 1480. It's good. It's very good. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. So look for my pairing that I'll do with the cigars, for those of you that enjoy cigars, to see how it'll match up with a nice cigar. I will do a cigar and tequila with the Hombre video here probably this weekend. I also have a review, or not a review, a video tour for 1414 for Vivanco and Associates. That will be out this weekend as well, so keep your eyes out for that. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you click the subscribe button. If you like the information I shared and the insight I gave into all these different brands out of 1480, click the thumbs up button. Give me a like for that. If you hate me and hate the information I give and think I'm a fraud and stuff, double click on that thumbs down button. Give me an extra hate for that. And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So Aldez Tequila Organico is not one that you have to worry about. All right. Until Monday for the Q&A. Salute you guys. Bye. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Can't wait to see you guys on Monday. Bye.